morning, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Thank y'all so much for tapping back in to see what I have to say. Today, we are talking about Hadera. Now, there was some news that came out a few weeks ago about Hadera and a company that is built on top of Hadera called Dropp. What Dropp is doing is Dropp is tapping into two of the biggest payment processors in the world, which is the FedNow and the clearinghouse, to offer merchants and individuals instant micro payments. Okay, so that means anywhere from as low as a penny up to several $100s. So basically, our everyday purchases, as far as food and, going to the store for this or buying something on Amazon for that, or whatever the case may be, what Dropp is doing is it is providing a lower cost instant payment micro payments platform. Okay, and I know that was a mouthful, and I know they kind of sort of said a lot, but it's major. And they're tapping into two of the biggest payment processors in the world to do this. And this company is built on top of Hadera. Understand when I say that slogan, built on Hadera, is going to have some weight put behind it over the next few years when you see and we see, as the roadmap continues to unfold, how many countries, central banks, and companies are all tied to that slogan, built on Hadera. Okay? Follow me on this. But this very first video that I'm getting ready to get into, it is the CEO of Dropp. He announced this huge announcement during Davos, okay? But it's basically talking about their integration with Truist Bank, okay? But follow me on this, because Hadera is nothing not to pay attention to in 2025, okay? But here's that first part of that interview.
Hedera is leading in all those different narratives, but I want to get into what I think is the biggest announcement that I've seen come out of Davos so far this year, and it's coming from Dropp, your company. Can you tell us what you're doing with Truist Bank?
Absolutely. Yeah. So if Brandon, if you don't mind, I just, for people who are joining and don't know about Dropp, I just want to give a couple of seconds. So Dropp is a platform for instant payments, instant settlement. So Dropp is a payment. So it's called a micro payment platform. It's meant, and our vision is to lower the cost of the transaction. Whether you are transferring US dollar or you're transferring crypto, we want to lower the cost of transaction. It's an alternative to credit cards. We are really going after the instant settlement and ultra low cost. So to achieve that, we've done two things. We've been working with banks. We're leveraging the banking rails, and we're leveraging the distributed ledger. In this case, is the Hadera, because that's the way you reduce the cost of a transaction, but you also have to make it instantaneous. So when it comes to crypto, everything is instantaneous, as you all know. But when it comes to banks, there's a new rail out there, a new API, new protocol called RTP, real-time payments. And this real-time payments is offered by an organization called the Clearinghouse, which also does ACH, right? So it's the same organization. So we've been leveraging RTP in our platform. So when merchant gets paid, they get paid instantly. For that, we had to work and collaborate with Truist. So we've been at it for a long time. For the last 6 months, we've been working on it. Today is a big day for us. It's a really big day for Dropp. It should be also for Hadera, that we announced our partnership, I would say our collaboration, our effort, all of the work. This is step one in making the platform instantaneous, making the platform real time. There are multiple things that are going to happen, but this is step one. And we've been waiting to announce this. We got an approval 2 days back, and it just happened to be I was in Davos. So this is it's a great day for the Dropp team. Kudos to the Dropp team that we've been able to announce. Now we can go out. Brandon, what does it mean? Is we want to make the entire journey instantaneous and really cheap, right? So that instead of using a credit card, we could use something like Dropp to make a payment, whether it's 1 cent or whether it's hundreds of dollars. We are focusing on the small business, small market thing. So it's a milestone. It's a very good milestone. I wouldn't say it's the last milestone. It's the milestone. We have other milestones that are going to come up in this year, and we'll announce it as we go. And Truist is the company with whom we are collaborating.
So you guys just heard from the CEO of Dropp and understanding exactly what they are doing and how they are providing this, okay? This is nothing not to tap into because yes, it's Truist Bank today, but you have to remember things like Bank Social that is also built on top of Hadera, which is a consortium of credit unions. Understand what is truly being built out in front of us as far as the Web3 and the distributed ledger technology sector, okay? It's so much bigger than crypto, you guys. Tap into this for real. But this very next video, it's more from the CEO of Dropp, and the question was proposed to him as far as he mentioned credit cards, like basically how is he providing a service that would make people move away from the traditional rails of credit cards and payments, and why would they move into something like a Dropp, okay? Follow me on this, you guys, follow me. There's gonna come a time when, say for instance, things like you're gonna be paying for something on Amazon, and you know, one of the drop down menus, how it says something like Visa or MasterCard, is gonna say something like Dropp in that drop down menu as well. Follow me on this, you guys, I promise you. Hadera is doing something incredible. That governing council is incredible. The companies tied to Hadera is incredible. And this is just one more incredible announcement after incredible announcement that Hadera has done in the past 12 months. Okay, but here's more from their interview.
Sushil, you know, we talk about credit cards, and credit cards, of course, are done on credit. So that means it's not instant settlement. What does instant settlement mean, and what is the impact that that's going to have on the industry?
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for the question. People use the word instant all the time. So that's why I use it. Didn't say instant payment. It's instant settlement. The issue is when a merchant accepts payment from you, when you tap that card or you write a check, the merchant gets the repayment 7 days, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 3 days. You know, lately it's been a little faster. But they can never have it end of the day. They cannot have it right in that very second, right? So for the larger businesses, that's okay. But when you look at most of the small businesses, the cash flow is the most important aspect of it. So what this really does is it optimizes cash flow. This is something that no one realizes. Most businesses work on margins, very low margins, and then they borrow money all the time. Even though they have receivables coming in, money is going to come in, but it's not there. Systems like Dropp, and there's going to be multiple instant systems in the United States. They're going to they will take care of that cash optimization challenge, and then make it easier and easier for merchants to accept it. So when I make a payment right now in our system, a merchant could say, give that money to me instantaneously, settle it right now, or settle it end of the day, but not beyond end of the day. And we can do that, and we can do all of those things. So it gives us a lot more flexibility on what we can offer the merchant, and the merchant this is taking United States, US more towards instant settlement. Right now, we don't have much of an instant settlement. There's only RTP and the FedNow, which is coming up. And at some point, we'll also start putting FedNow in the system.
Understood. Now, what does it look like for the consumer at the point of sale? Is it going to look any different from the rails that they used before?
It's not going to look any different. And that is it's going to be less friction because they can just use a QR code, scan it. There's a point of sale. You'll see a point of sale, which will have a QR code. You scan it just the way you do it right now. If you're on a website, you will see a drop button. Click on it. It brings up your digital extension, which you have on your Chrome or your browser. Or if you have Dropp on your wallet, on your mobile, you can just scan it. So for the consumer, we made sure that there's less friction on the user experience. And that's critical. On the merchant side, they have to implement a pieces of the system that we built, or they should download the app. So it's not much of a work that they already do for credit cards. So I think the experience is going to remain the same. And I would say even it starts getting better, because as we deliver more products on RTP, the experience is going to be, you might not even have to upload money on your wallet to make a payment. It could happen instantly. That's the direction we are headed. So I would say it gives you an alternative method of payment and a cheaper payment method for the merchants. And so no, the experience is going to be, I would say, a lot better than what we have, or at least in part.
Okay, you guys just heard him go through several different processes of how Hadera is integrated and what's the benefit of using something like a Dropp with instant payment and instant settlement. That's the key part of that. Not the instant payment part, but the instant settlement part, okay? That is going to, like he said, clear up and open up liquidity for these smaller businesses that have so much in leverage to literally be able to tap into this money and process it much faster so that they can do things like payroll and they can do things like, make orders and do real-time orders, okay? Follow me on this, okay? And you might think, well, how's Quant tied into all of this? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so understand that both FedNow, which I've already done a video on, and the clearinghouse, which I've also already tapped in on a video as well, is both tapped into Quant. We're going to say potentially utilizing their software as a service, which is Overledger, which gives them interoperability capabilities, okay? So to break that down and how it ties into Hadera is, so the underlying infrastructure that something like FedNow or something like the clearinghouse is using is operating and using within Overledger and its APIs and gateways, okay? Which this is their tech stack. So then you now have a company that wants to tap into that tech stack, okay? So that company themselves may already have an Overledger account, or simply by tapping into that tech stack as far as from the clearinghouse or FedNow, it gives them that interoperability that they're looking for so that they can do things that they need to do within their services. So there's Quant being used at least once on the big boy end, because you got to remember, they're for the institutions, the central banks, the large multinational corporations and governments, okay? You have to remember, Quant is swinging for, home run that after the ball was hit, it went into the stratosphere. Those are the big boys that they're going for. Now, Hadera is also targeting institutions, but it's on a smaller scale of institutions. When you think of, you would say LG, huge company, absolutely. But LG is nothing compared to the UK's government. Think about that. You understand what I mean when I'm saying what I'm saying? So understand that utilizing things like the clearinghouse, utilizing things like FedNow, that's tapping directly into Overledger, in my opinion, based off of information, based off of research that's been done, and the verbiage that's being used when they talk about their systems, and understand that since they're utilizing Overledger, any other thing that's attaching themselves to their underlying tech stack, okay, for sending payments in this traditional realm that we sit in now, will also be tapping into Overledger, okay? And I know this is not an Overledger video, it's not a Quant video, it is a Hadera video, but just understand that all of them are working together. And if you don't think that Gilbert Burdian knows about Hadera, think again, okay? I will put a video right here.
Fast, you don't use Bitcoin, you use Hedera Hashgraph, for example.
Exactly. Now you just heard out of his own mouth. What did he say? Oh, if you want to settle fast, you settle on Hadera. Exactly. Understand what I mean and understand what I say, that all of these ISO tokens are working together in tangent with each other, building out the future of finance. And the foundation of that is the Quant Overledger. But honorable mentions are things like Hadera doing incredible things, things like XRP doing incredible things, things like Stellar doing incredible things in this space, okay? So I thank y'all for tuning in, and I thank y'all for tapping in. Until the next time, wait a minute, hold on, pop. If you made it all the way through this whole rant, I want you to type in Hadera in the comments. That way I know you made it to the end of this video. And until the next time, y'all already know. Peace out.